ஹலோ காய்ஸ், நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? நீங்கள் மட்டும் அப்புறம் நல்லா இருக்கீங்க. சரி சரி, இருந்து தொலைங்க. கம்மிங் பேக் டு அவர் வீடியோ. லாஸ்ட் ஆஃப் கிரியேட்டர் நியூ திஸ் வாஸ் அ பிளாட் ஹோல் பட் வெண்ட் ஹெட். எனிவே, இது என்னது புது கதை? ஈவன் டீனாஸ் ஃபேஸ் மாடல் இஸ் பெல்லா ஹேட்டரா? டீனாஸ் ஃபேஸ் மாடல் ஓகே, கேம்லையா?
No. Why? Because I'm stupid? That's not the word I would use. Really? What word then? Non-school oriented. Fuck you. I'm in school. Let me help.
Ellie's super smart. What? Characterization of Ellie being dumb is weird. I mean, I like that Dina's smart. I might be biased, but yo, we haven't even thought about Joel. That's wild. Every time that song got played, I thought about Joel and I would cry. But because we spent the entire last episode or two just not even thinking about him too much,
It'll be reckless.
in my humble opinion, and I know nothing, okay, and I'm not a writer, we could have started the episode there. She didn't need to be triangulating. Ellie didn't need to be dumb.
What's the plan? Knives or run?
Bro, this is Dina's show. Ellie is kind of a side bitch in this. I'm serious. Dina is running this show. I don't know. Ellie's just kind of along for the ride. Oh, this is awful.
Dude, that's both. Did I?
Girl. Don't like that Ellie is being characterized as like unintelligent. I'll tell you what I really don't like. I don't like that when Jesse showed up, they were not instantly relieved and grateful.
More and more people finally getting Last of Us stupidity. Last of Us will show torture on screen, but not a woman with a bad hair. Dina's perfect curtain bangs and softly tousled waves don't exactly match their apocalyptic backdrop. Man, you guys really let the lighters off easily on this line. I hope you will be a better dad than I was. What the F? Even when they are trying to make Joel the bad guy, it just doesn't work. Wow! இதான் நான் முக்கியமாக படிக்கணும். Even when they are trying to make Joel the bad guy, it just doesn't work. Infected do not get brought back. I don't care who it is. Sparing Eugene's wife of potentially seeing him turn is a morally good thing to do. Joel gave him the most humane death he could in that moment. I don't see how I'm supposed to disagree with what went down here. The only thing I can point out is how inconsiderate Ellie actually was with her outburst and how it might have made this man's wife feel. True, I kind of agree with this actually. Watching this episode, not even done, this was the stupidest shit I have seen. The man was for done. Ellie's outburst were obnoxious. He was done. He pulled a gun on Joel to threaten, but was empty. They probably wouldn't have made it in time. But besides, once you turn and start moving fast, that could easily turn into a tragedy. This was a stupid attempt to make Joel look bad, laughing my ass out. I thought all it did was make Joel look sensible. Was this somehow not the stated intent? Yes, they were trying to apply it, but what about people's feelings during an apocalyptic scenario caused by an outbreak with a community they have already established used to dogs to smell if a person was infected, and if they were trying to rip that person apart before they let them anywhere near the community. No, how we know this? Because they did to Joel and Ellie, a 40-year-old child in season fucking 1. This is literally the exact same community that they are trying to act like. This community would allow Ellie to escort an infected old man to say goodbye to his wife at the gate. The hell they would fucking would. It just made Ellie look absolutely retarded, like she learned absolutely nothing in the entire time that she has been staying there, and she's so reckless and so careless that she basically get everyone around her killed. The longer this show goes on, the more I'm getting really strong main girl from the Hellraiser remake vibes. You can tell they really want you to empathize with her, but such a self-destructive, obnoxious asshole who literally ruins not only her but the lives of those around her, and you find yourself just going, nah, the zombies, no bits are right. This bitch needs to go. Fuck. I get that Ellie may be lashing out because she feels betrayed and Joel breaking promises, even though both lies were done to protect people. Even if Firefish got the vaccine, looking at how corrupt they were, they would have likely to not to make it widespread in the interest of humanity, instead giving it their own kind, excluding QZ leaders and officials, looking to make an authoritarian new society with them in charge. The Fireflies dug their own grave, fucking around with Joel. Ellie should get that. It should have been so much easier to make Ellie likable, but damn, she can't act and all the choices suck. Emphasis on obnoxious asshole. We kind of forget about the dogs. I don't see how it could be anything other than the intent to show him as sensible, being compassionate within reason. The show had made this moment in prior episode sound like it was some brutal murder or something. I think they're being sensible. I think him being sensible was the point for all the hate Ellie is getting. The type of character who is overly compassionate, even at the risk of group safety, present in all types of survival media. This act of sensible murder is meant to contrast with what Ellie has in her head regarding the fireplace, that the Joel had committed what is otherwise opposite to sensible murder. To her, him killing and breaking promises, a promise he likely made just to keep the other dude calm rather than lie to her, is being protected with the greater evil she has in her mind. All in all, her state of mind made sense. Joel's action was sensible, but outing Joel just to make herself feel better at the expense of the therapist was a bitch move. All the same, this is the issue. Ellie wouldn't be emotionally over this. I am with you that this was an attempt to make Joel look bad. People in other subreddits seems to be thinking that way though. People in other subreddits are idiots. Joel had the sense and courage to make the condition an awful situation. Ellie's outburst back in Jackson tracks for an idealistic 19 year old who lacks the maturity to understand why Joel did what he did. Ellie doesn't even deserve the excuse that she is 19, 20. She lived in this world her whole life. She had to kill her first love after they were bitten, but when she was 14. Nice point, actually. This was meant to be the moment Ellie absolutely knew Joel had lied to her because for some reason they thought the audience hated the idea of reinforced or something. So it was supposed to make him look bad and give her unnecessary segue to confront him about the fabulous, completely waste of scenario of him as well. After he tried to threaten him, I had no sympathy. Yeah. Hey, here's your husband. It took a while. Who is about to turn? Best case scenario. Q crying, weeping, begging, telling him I'm okay to tell me. Bam. Well, at least you all got to say goodbye. Doesn't everyone feel better? Not so. Best case, he bites the horse or Joel or Ellie in the neck or in town attacks someone else. Why not Dean or Tommy? Joel did the right thing, even though early part one Joel would have just said he was going to turn. I had to do what needs to be done. They could have brought his wife to him or even let him talk on radio, such manufactured melodrama. This, they had a radio call up his wife, let them say goodbye. She single handedly made the widow feel 100 times worse. Fuck. Absolute out of character for this made ups. Nice one, nice one. He will always be good in my eyes no matter what. True. Media is starting to catch on. I see. Tonight's episode of Last of Us showcased all of show's worst habits to the point of greatly mishandling the iconic porch scene from the game. Find out more. Wow. Forbes take on problem with the Last of Us season 2. First, Ramsey is just physically not right for this role. She's too small and she looks 15. That's not her fault. This is not an issue with her appearance, and frankly, the internet is at its most shameful when it comes to bullying the Bella Ramsey. It is certainly not an issue with her acting when she's been put to test. I think she offered up some genuinely brilliant moments as an actor, but it's really hard to accept as Ellie we know from The Last of Us Part 2 when she's just not physically daunting or old enough to looking to be vengeful killer she was in the game. And the vengeful killer she badly needs to be in the show. The game's scene is layered and complex. There is so much going on that isn't spoken. They are discussing the map in both sense, but in the game there is so much rich subtext. The dynamic between the characters is filled with unspoken resentment, guilt, and feeling. The show's vision is filled with jokes and playful banter. One feels like two mature characters in a series deadly revenge mission, the other feels like a sitcom. I don't make the comparison just to complain that show isn't like the game, contrary to what lot of fans say whenever I make this observation. I pointed out because one version is objectively better, at least as a dumb kid who needs to be pampered by Dina and who cracks jokes about being a dad, rather than having a driving and all consuming and self destructive desire for revenge, is an objectively worse version of this character and it makes the show worse. Finally, we come to the storytelling itself, in particular, the choices to make some pretty huge changes from the game. One of these is 3 month gap between Joel's brutal murder and Haley's decision to go after Abby. Other ones, big ones, are revealing Abby's motives from the get go. This was a mistake. This was supposed to be a mystery until much later. Giving the audience her motivation so early on and wrapped up in a villain monologue is tantamount to spoon feeding viewers. It speaks to general sense that the show's created don't trust the audience to be patient or thoughtful enough to wait for the answers. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் இட். இன்னும் ஒரே ஒரு எபிசோட் தான் இருக்குது ஃபினாலே. பார்ப்போம் அது எப்படி இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ நான் பண்ணுறேன்னு உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்குன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்கள். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது சஜஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது, ப்ரோ இது எப்படி பண்ணலாம் ப்ரோ, பற்றி நீங்கள் பேசுனீங்களா, இந்த சீன் எனக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்து எனக்கு எதாக இருந்தாலும் நீங்கள் கமெண்ட் செக்ஷனில் தெரியப்படுத்துங்க. அண்ட் இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு சப்போர்ட் மீ, ஹிட் தட் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பட்டன். தட்ஸ் த ஒன்லி வே யூ கேன் சப்போர்ட் எனி அப்கமிங் யூடியூபர்ஸ். ஸோ இன்னும் நல்ல வீடியோ சந்திக்கிறேன். Until take a bye, see you all. Peace out.